So for your test one for the second 6 weeks, I'm going to go over number 5 because I saw kids having trouble with number 5. Not so much having trouble, it's more that you're not understanding what they want you to do. So I want to clear that. This is a drag and drop. So I want to fix this problem today, hopefully. Okay? My strategies will always begin with a question. They want us to go from greatest to what? Least. What's the next thing I want? I want to see the facts. We're gonna copy the facts. So the first fact that they gave us 88%, comma. The next fact they gave me 90 thousandths. And you know what it's 90 thousandths? Tenth, hundredth, thousandths. 90 thousandths. The next fact that they gave me is 7300th, 0.73. The next one they gave me is 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. 74% was the next fact. And 8/10. I wait. So all I'm doing is copying the facts. That's all I'm doing, copying the facts from my story. And the purpose of that again is for us to, now that I have copied all the facts, now I can just focus on my work here on the paper. I don't need to look at the computer anymore. Yeah, I have my information. They want me to go from greatest to what? Least. And they're all my numbers that they gave me, all the facts that I need. Questions with that part? Then after you do that, you should have an idea of a strategy, okay, or a plan, a strategy or a plan. So what's our strategy or plan when we're going to put things in order? We need to draw a number line, and we need to change everything to what? Decimals, money. This is my strategy or plan. Questions with that part? Now, how do we organize it? We create a table that we call the money table. You see, the students that have it like this, they did wonderful in the test. Most of them scored hundreds and nineties. The kids that did not have it like this did horrible. 88% is the first one that we have there. Now, how do we change 8% to decimal?
Twice to the left.
Twice to the left. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to write it down so we can see the work. I put my decimal there at the end on the right side and I go twice to the left. 1, 2, draw an arrow there. That means that I move the decimal to the left twice. My new answer is 0.88. Now, do we have holes or no holes?
No holes.
Why do we know we have no holes? Because it's less than what number did I tell you of percentage? Less than what? Less than 100%. Guys, if it's less than 100%, that means that there is no holes. 88% is less than 100%, that means that there's no holes. Question with the first one? The next one we have 0.090 thousandths. So that one is actually already in decimal form, but since I want to put it like money, we're supposed to stop in the hundreds. So right there we should have stopped, which is actually how many cents? 9 cents. Now many of you on this one, what you all did, you all put it as 90 cents. But this is 90 thousandths. To be cents, it has to be in the hundredth, 10 hundredths. So it's really 9 cents. Questions? So one of the problems that I saw on Friday's test is that you guys wanted to put this guy as 90 cents, and that's why you mess up the whole problem. The next one we have 7,300. That's already decimals, and it's already also what? Money. You see, money, if you look at after the right 1, 2, after the decimal 1, 2, after the decimal 1, 2, it's supposed to be 2 only, 10 hundredths. If you have more than that, that's not money. It's just a decimal there. Questions? The next one is 3/4. Now here, the kid that memorized the fourth, you should be quickly. What's the fourth about? They're by 25. But you're right, sir. There's by 25, but there's three of them. 25, 50, 75. Si miras un 4 abajo, it's by 25. So this would be 75. Yes, sure. But what if I don't know that? What can we also do? Bottom out. You also do this, guys. I don't care if you knew that it was 75 cents. You see the kid that memorized the fourths, that they're by 25s, that kid will quickly know the decimal. The kid that didn't, you have to bottom out. The more. 3 is that enough? What do you do when it's not enough here? Add a 0. 30 is that enough? Yes. 4 times what? Le cuentas con los dedos or whatever. 4 times 7 is 28. Now 30 minus 28 would be 2. Or you can regroup and say 10. This becomes 2. It's still going to be 2. What do you do when there's a remainder? You add another 0. 4 times what gives me 20? 5. Did I get the same thing as the kid that memorized it? Yes. Except that the kid that memorized it got it faster. Now, in case you're wondering, like, like, where can I practice to memorize? Right here. There's your 1/4, 25 cents. 2 of them would be 2 of those. It's going to be 25, 50. 3 of them would be 25, 50, 75. There's the thirds, 33 cents. 33 cents, 2 of them would be 66 cents. Now these I did not tell you to memorize because they're hard to memorize. I told you to bottom out. But I did tell you to memorize the fifths. They're the 20 cents. 1/5, 20 cents. 2 of them, 40 cents. You have this in your journal. The ninths, those are the 11ths. Remember the repeater 11? 11, 22. And then the 10ths, those are the 10 cents. So you have this little card that I can use to memorize those that I told you to memorize. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Duke. Mr. Duke of Hulk. Yes. Okay. Question with 3/4. The next one, 74%. How do I change that one to decimal? Twice to the left. 1, 2. So it's going to be 0.74. Holes or no holes? No holes. Because it's under what? Under 100%. The next one would be 8/10. Is that one to memorize?
It's 80 cents.
Very good, 80 cents. Mr. Alvarez really has memorized some of these. Good job, sir. 80 cents. Now, if you don't know, what do? Bottom out. If you're a calculator kid, that's the other thing. Calculator students, come on. 8 out of 10. 8 is the top. Divide, that's the fraction bar. 10 is the bottom. Enter, 0.8. But of course, we add a 0 for money, 80 cents. Questions? Again, 3 is the top. He goes first. The bar, fraction bar means divide. 4 at the bottom, 4, 75 cents. There's no excuse, calculator students, why not to get those into decimals. Okay, now everything's in decimal, yes? Now, the next thing we said to make decimals and to draw a what? Number line. So let's draw one. You have all the space in the world. I don't know why kids choose not to draw it nice and big. Ahí la quieren hacer toda chiquilla. Then darken this guy because that one's going to remind you of what letter? Less for L. Darken this one and draw C there, and that's going to remind you of the greater, the G. Questions with that part? Now, all of them are positive, yes? Positive. That means that we're not going to travel to the left of 0. We're not going to travel to the left of 0. That means that I don't need space to the left, so I'm going to put the 0 over here. I need space to the right because they're all positives. Now, if they're all negatives, then I would need space to the left. I'm traveling this way, they were negatives. If they're both in the middle. So I'm going to go to the right, and I'm also going to go to the left. But this one, they're all positive. That's why I put the 0 there. Questions with where to locate the 0? Good. Now, those that are having trouble, pay attention right now, and now you can go watch this little video. Starting from 0, $0, 0 pennies, no tienes nada. Blank. The pockets are completely empty. Let me put my first mark. Which of these will pop out first, starting from 0?
0.88.
0.88?
0.09.
0.09. 0.09. You know why? 0 cents, 9 cents. Now somebody said 88 cents. Okay? Because he wants to already try to answer the question probably. But the number 9 is not to answer the question, it's just to draw a number line to help you answer questions is the number line. So from 0 cents, 9 cents. Does that make sense that that would come out quickly after 0 cents? Yes. It's 9 cents rápido. After 9 cents, oh, hold on, put the original on the top. The original we put on the top. Póngalo arriba porque originalmente va a estar la. This is just so we can put in the number 9 quickly, the money for us, but we have to put it back the way that they had it. Now, check for 9 cents. After 9 cents, ¿quién saldría después de 9 cents? 73 cents. Good. Put a check there. After 73 cents, ¿quién sale? 74 cents. And what's the original? 74%. Put a check so you know that you already used it. After 74 cents, who's next? 75 cents. And the original? Tenemos que poner el original, guys. 3 over what? 4. 3/4. Put a check. After 75 cents, who's next? 80 cents. And the original? 8 over 10. And after 80 cents, 88 cents. Original is 88%. Now, did you already answer the question?
No.
No. This is a number line like the one in the wall. You're not answering nothing. It's just a number line. Now, Gerardo, sit up, sir. I'm going to make you stand up, sir. Okay? Look. Check if it makes sense. 9 cents, 73 cents, 74 cents, 75 cents, 80 cents, 88. Does that make sense? Yeah, you can hear the sequence. 9 centavos, 73, 74, 80, 88. Right now, if somebody wanted to put 88 here, it would not make sense. 88, 9 cents, how does that make sense? There's no sequence. 9 cents, 73 cents, 74 cents, 75 cents, 80 cents, 88 cents. That makes sense. So I know that my number line is drawn and we located all numbers correctly. I have not answered a question. I just drew a number line exactly like the one in the wall. Except that this one has decimals, the one in the wall only has the whole and integers. Questions. These are all rational, they're decimals. That's only this, but you should follow a sequence. Now let me go answer the question. And that's why I make you write the question so you can check. What do they want me to do? Greatest to least. So now, I told you, good job. So it's going to be right to left. I told you that to circle the G and to put the word start so you can know that I'm starting from right to left. Very good, sir. From right to left. So start from the right to left, greatest to least, and just move your pencil slowly. Boom. Who's there? 88%. So guess what? He goes first on the list. So already put him on the list first. Comma. You put him first on the list. Now keep on traveling. Who's next? 8 over. Guess what? He should be second on the list. 8 over 10 should be second on the list. Who's next? Third on the list would be 3 over 4. Fourth on the list would be 74%. I think you get it now, right? Fifth on the list would be 7,300. And sixth on the list would be 90,000. Right. My bad. 90,000. That's a decimal right there. This is the answer. Greatest to least. Questions? Now, let me show you how you're supposed to answer this on your actual test, because that's the other problem that some of us are having trouble with that. Test 1. And we're doing number 5. Now look, what some of you did to me is you did this. Since 88% was to the right, you drag him to the right. But this is not a number line. This is you putting them in order. So that's why I want you to put them in order before you answer. Like put first, put them in order, second, third. So like that, when you're ready to drag, who's the first one that you should put? 88%. He's the greatest because they want greatest to least. Who's the second one that we should put? 8/10 because he's 80 cents. Greatest to least. Now some of you get confused because like, pero es que usted los hizo hacerlo así. Because this is just a number line. This is not answering we're not putting things in order here. We're just drawing a number line. Okay? Who's next after 8/10? 3/4. And then 74%. Then 73. And then 0.90 should be the last one. Now some of you wanted to put him over here because you thought that 90 cents, that's 90 cents. That's not 90 cents, that's 9 cents. That's why it's important to understand that money stops in the hundredth because you need 100 pennies to make a dollar. Questions? Please, when you're doing this, make sure that after you draw your number line, that you actually list them in order. And if they want to greatest to least, that means that he should be first, he should be second, he should be third, fourth, and so on. Now, if they want least to greatest, then he would be exactly the way the number line is. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. The only time that you'll have this in order exactly like the number line is when you go least to greatest. That's the only time that we'll just copy it exactly because it's going left to right. But if it's going right to left, this guy needs to be the first one on the list, second, and so on. Any questions? And if we had negatives, we just continue. He will be third, fourth, fifth, and so on. Questions? Hopefully this helps you because you're going to have a retest for the ones that failed. Okay, we're done with that part. Today, I'm also going to give, so this should be in your notes journal, okay? As a little review of what you should have done in the test 1, second, 6 weeks, so you can go home and watch the video. If there's negatives, well, you just continue right to the left, right? So it's the same thing if there's negatives. I'm going to try to make another one tomorrow of another question that I saw kids having trouble. Leave this empty because I'm going to make one more in the back of this one tomorrow. Today, we're going to start something new. It's called integer rules. Integer rules. When we use integer rules is when there's any negatives that are involved. Negatives. If there's any negatives or a subtraction symbol. Again, we just copy these quick notes for the test review 1, second 6 weeks. Leave the back empty and go to a new page and call it integer rules. negatives or subtraction symbols, I really need them. If they're all positives, you don't really need the rules. You could use them, but you don't need them. But as soon as I see a negative involved or subtraction involved, I better think of the rules from here to the rest of your life. Questions? Okay. I'm going to start with the first rule. The first rule is the one that I call the rule 1. I call it rule 1. Don't think that the math books call it rule 1. I call it that. Rule 1 says this. If the signs are the same, so put it like that in big capital letters. If the signs are the same, I will add and keep the sign. Rule 1 says if the signs, I forgot the S there. If the signs are the same, I will add and keep the sign the same. So our strategy is this, to write this real big like this. Once you see the signs are the same, and the A is going to remind me to add, and the E is going to remind me to keep. This is our strategy when the signs are the same. When the signs are the same, I'm going to add and keep. Questions? Right now, when I give an example, you're going to see what I'm talking about. ¿Listos? So let's pretend, here's number 1. Let's pretend we have -4. And usually they put it in parentheses. Sometimes they don't, but they usually do. Plus -2 equals. Again, your first job is to get the facts. The facts is that I have a negative. Do you agree? You see that little symbol there? That's a negative sign. And the 2 also has 1 in front of it. So that's also a what? A negative sign. So we have a negative and a negative. So are the signs the same? Yes. So if the signs are the same, what are we going to do? We're going to what? Add. So what's 4 plus 2? 6. There's your first step. Add. Second step, keep the sign the same. So it was negative, negative. So we're going to keep the sign the same. So guess what he's going to be? Negative. There's the answer, -6. Questions? Eso está bien fácil. The kids don't have a hard time with that. Now, to prove that this rule that I came up with makes sense, I'm going to show it mathematically with a number line. So we're going to draw a number line so you can show why it works. Am I going to be making you draw number lines? No. At the beginning I am. Later on, then I'm not. So here we go. I see that all the stuff is what? Negatives. So I know my 0 will be on the right side. They're all negatives. Now here, we're going to have to put -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, at least to 8 en esta, no importa. Here we're not putting things in order, we're just using the number line to figure out why the answer is -6. Where do you always begin in number lines? Good. So I'm going to put a beginning mark here on the top of 0. And I'm going to travel what they want me to travel. They want me to lose 4. So I'm going to lose 4. So when you lose, you go to the left. You're losing, you're going to go to the left. Lose, L, left. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just lost how much? 4. And put an arrow, show direction. We just lost 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Questions with that part? But then I added more losses. So I added more losses. So guess what? I'm adding more losses. So I'm going to continue going to the left because it's still a loss. How much did I lose? Two more, right? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 2 more. Did I lose anything else? Where did I land? Did I get the same answer as my little rule? Yes. So look again. Starting at 0, I lost 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why we stopped there. But then I added more losses. So I added more losses. 1, 2. Where did I land at the end? -6. That's the answer. Questions with the one way to prove this? The other way to prove that this is correct, my little rule of same, add, and keep, is I can draw a.
Excuse me.
I can draw a.
Morning.
Morning.
No,
yo se lo voy a llevar. Negatives and positives. This is called an integer chip table. Integer chip table. Let me show you how this works. Because you'll be using these later on too. These are integer chips. These. You see these? All the red ones are your negatives. Usually in math, the red one's negative. The yellow ones are your what? Positives. Question with that part? Nope. In a copy, they usually make the white ones, which is the yellow ones, positive, and the black ones, the negatives, in the copy paper. Okay? Any questions? So let's do this. Look, I lost 4. So how many red do I need? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, I lost 4. Yes? But then I lost 2 more. I added, but they're losses because the negatives say that they're losses. So I'm going to need 2 more, not yellow, because they're what? Negatives. Anything else happen? No. What do you see there? 6. And they're all color what? Red. That's why the answer is -6. So there's how I proved it. Now, you will not have this with you every day. So we can do a table like this and say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 4. And then 2 more. 1, 2. There's the other 2. So how many negatives do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's why the answer is -6. Questions with that? Most kids do pretty good with this. Okay? We're done with number 1. And now you know what I mean with rule 1. When the signs are the same, I'm going to add and keep the sign the same. And here's how to show it with a number line. Here's how to show it with an integer chip table. Now the next one is the one that we always screw up. So better pay attention to this one. -3 minus 4. Okay? Equals. Ready? What's the 3? Negative. And what's the 4? Positive. But, pay attention to what I'm going to tell you with a but. This is a subtraction symbol. This is a negative symbol. But the subtraction symbol makes the 4 a negative situation. Because when I take away points from you in your test, would that be a negative situation? Yes or no? If I take away minus points from your paper, would that be a negative situation? Yes. So that 4 really is not a positive situation. It's actually a negative. That's your first job. You better quickly take care of that problem. Because a lot of kids mess up here. Otra vez, the 4, yes, he was positive, but because there's a subtraction in front of it, a subtraction symbol, a minus symbol, he makes that 4 a negative. It's like football. If the guy loses 3 yards, or they throw a flag on us because we're holding, they throw a flag on us, a referee, and he goes, okay, offensive holding, 5 yards, repeat second down. So he'll go forward with the ball or backwards? Backwards, because he just lost 5 yards. That would be minus 5. That's a negative situation. I'm going to say, oh, good job. That's a positive situation for us, guys. No, it's a negative situation because I just lost 4 yards. Questions? Right now, I'm going to give you more examples, but. So, do you all know why I put an N? Por la culpa del minus. El minus made him an N. So, what would be the rule? The rule would still be what? Same. As soon as I saw N, same. What's the A for? What's the A for? Add. And the E? Keep the sign the same. Now, if you don't write the rule, your brain is going to do this. Don't copy red in my class. But if you don't write the rule, trust me, the kids that do not get the important facts, we're still doing what's the question, what's the fact. The fact is you better label what you're working with. See, it's still the same thing. The other one was draw a number line and make a table, right? Here we're gonna say label it, write my rule.
Teachers,
Label it, write my rule.
Please post your attendance. Thank you. Teachers, at this moment, please post your attendance. Thank you.
Check it out. Here's what most kids do to me. Listen. They'll write that answer -1. You know why? Because your brain, you see that minus, your brain will tell you to what? To subtract. Okay? And you'll be -1. Now let's see why this doesn't make sense. Think about it. When you have negatives in life, it is you owe money. So let's pretend that Kevin, the Duke of Polk, in the dance tells me, Mr. Rivera, I want to buy my Duchess pickle and a Coke, and I don't know what else. So he says, can I borrow $3? Right now, Kevin is at -3. He owes me money. Yes? As the dance progresses, he comes back and tells me, no, the Duchess salió bien comalona, sir. I need more money. So he borrows, he says, you know what, can you spare $4 more, sir? I said, está bueno, sir. Como porque eres el Duke. So I give him $4 now, so he's now at -4. Yes? I'm showing you why this is done, the -1. So today he comes today, after Friday's dance, and I ask him, hey, sir, the money that you owe me? Like right now, Miss Quesada asking me for the money of the tickets that I owe the office. Same thing.
I lost the money.
Okay?
I bought the tickets.
So I'm not going to tell him. He cannot come and tell me, oh, sir, I only owe you $1. Does that make sense? No. He owes me $3, and then he owes me how much more? 4. So how much money does he really owe me? 7. So that's why we don't subtract. It doesn't make sense to say, oh, by the way, sir, I only owe you $1. Mira, este ratero salió ratero, este guy también. No. You owe me $3 because you asked me for that pickle for your Duchess, and then you owe me $4 because you said that she eats a lot too. So that's not just $1. He really owes me how much? That's why I follow my rule. And the rule says to what? Add, not to subtract. But your head is going to tell you to subtract because you're used to that subtraction symbol in elementary being, hey, I'm going to lose. This is actually still losing because you're losing and you're losing. Okay? Questions? So we don't subtract, guys. We need to what? Add. Porque aquí me dijo add. Right here me dice add. So what's 4 plus 3? 7. Add and keep negative. So keep negative. How much money do you owe me? $7. And the chips again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean 3 first and then 4. How much do we have? 7. And they're all colored what? Red, which makes it what? Negative. In the number line, it will work this way. 1, 2, 3, right? And then 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So where did you land? -7. Okay, questions? Let's draw one quickly here. Draw one quickly. And start 0, -1, -2. I'm gonna stop at -8 again. -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. We always begin at what number? 0. How much do I lose first? How much did we lose first? 3. So go 1, 2, 3, draw an arrow, make a mark there. We lost 3 right there. But then we lost how much more? 4. So make another mark on top and lose 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where did you land at the end? 7 negative. Yes? Yes or no? Yes. That's why we add and keep. We add and keep on adding negatives. My final answer is negative 7. The integer chip table. We have negatives and positives. How many negatives do we have first? 3. And then how many negatives do we have next? 4. How many negatives in all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're all negatives. That's why the answer is negative 7. Any questions? Okay, let's bubble this guy out. Let's do one more of these because these are the ones that worry me the most always. Number 3, negative 5 minus 4. What is the 5 in this story? Negative. What's the 4 in this story?
Negative.
Because of the minus symbol, he becomes a negative situation. What's the rule then? Same. So let's write it quickly. Same. And what does the letter A tell me to do? Add. And the E? Keep. That's a strategy. Once you see that the signs are the same, I'm going to write the word same to remind myself to add and keep. Not to let my brains what? Subtract, right? That's what your brain's going to want to do. Negative 5 minus 4. Add and keep. So what's the add? 9. And keep what? Negative. Questions? We're not going to draw a number line there. We're just going to do the rule.